So in this week's Torah reading, we learn about Moses' encounter with God at the burning bush. Many of our tradition teachers teach how interesting it is that God chose a thorn bush as the way to recruit Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. A lonely thorn bush. It's quite different than how God presents itself in the Torah and other places. Look at what happens on Sinai. There's signs and wonders. People saw sounds and smoke coming from the mountain. But here, in this other very important moment of revelation, we just have a small bush burning in the desert. Many of our tradition's teachers try to provide us with some explanations for why a lowly thorn bush was chosen for this transformational moment of Jewish history. When asked to explain this phenomenon, Yehoshua ben Korah responds simply by saying that every place in the world is filled with God's presence, that we should not question the inherent holiness of a bush, whether it's burning or not. Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi said, everything in the world, especially this most lowly of worldly objects, is infused with the divine. So, of course, the burning bush is a place where God can speak to Moses. Nothing greater is needed. Another way to look at why the lowly thorn bush is chosen to recruit the future leader of our people is that God was seeking someone who would be able to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. It's quite possible the bush was burning for quite a while, because it was not consumed by its flames. Many others might have walked by the bush without stopping to receive the revelation it had to offer. But Moses was different. He was the first one to turn and look at the bush, gaze at it carefully, and notice that it was not consumed by the flames. He could see the extraordinary in the ordinary. That's what makes Moses such a special leader and a model for how we should live our lives. He had the ability to seek the deeper meaning of things. He was able to find God's presence expressed in the world, even a lowly thorn bush burning in the desert. It's very hard to live life and see God's presence in the ordinary moments in our life. But this teaching and many others in our tradition suggest that God is present in all that we do and in every moment of our lives. I've often had people tell me about their deep spiritual moments. They've experienced it when they went to special places like hiking in Yosemite, or special times in their lives, like the incredible moment when a baby emerges and makes its first urgent cries. These moments are important because they ignite our spiritual fires when they need to be lit. But these moments can also hopefully be so powerful that they inspire us to seek the simple holiness that is right in front of us, even when we're not in some special place or at some unique time in our lives. Our lives become richer when our spiritual fires ignite easily and at all times. When we see the divine in all places. I know I can see it in the faces in the Zoom room tonight, and I suggest you try and see the specialness of this moment as I do. Let's take a minute and look around and be thankful that this extraordinary technology has brought us together tonight. How fortunate we've been to hear and join Cantor Andy's beautiful prayers and experience the brilliance of our liturgy, which has so divinely been created to inspire our spirits and lift us to special places of love and compassion. In fact, let's spend next week reminding ourselves of how special every moment is in our lives. These rich moments are all there for you to experience if you just focus your attention and take the time to appreciate all of God's manifestations in the world. If we don't come to appreciate these moments, we're all destined to work by many metaphorical burning bushes that have been placed before us to bring us some type of revelation. There's one other rich moment that takes place at the burning bush. It's really such an interesting and commented on moment in the Torah. Moses asked God to let him know the name he should use when speaking to the people. And God answers in a very enigmatic way by saying, "My name is Eyeh Asher Eyeh. I will be what I will be." There's a beautiful teaching that I'd like to share with you from the Lubavitcher Rabbi that explores the deeper meaning of this name and the idea that God present in all things and in all places. Here's what he says when he tries to explain the meaning of Eyeh Asher Eyeh, I will be what I will be, to Moses. My name is Eyeh. Where was I all these years? I was with you. I am being. I am existence. I am reality. I'm the groan of a beaten slave and the wail of a bereaved mother. Certain things must be, no matter how painful and incomprehensible to your human selves, in order that great things, infinitely great and blissful things should be. But I do not orchestrate these things from some distant heaven, wholly and removed from your existential pain. I'm there with you, suffering with you, praying for redemption with you. If you cannot see me, it's not for my otherworldliness. It's because I am so real. I'm going to repeat that. If you cannot see me, it's not for my otherworldliness. It is because I am so real. What a beautiful idea. We all have difficulty seeing God because God is so real. God is so firmly and deeply expressed in all aspects of our everyday life that the divine does not draw attention to itself by shining a spotlight to announce its presence. God's presence is just always there. Just as Moses turned and stopped what he was doing to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, we're given the opportunity to see God in all the seeming ordinary moments in our lives. Our task, our holy task, is to turn and look, to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. May you all have a wonderful Shabbat and a terrific week.